Tell me, my friend.
Here I am toting my own consulting. You give great advice. You told me recently, and you've told me a couple times, and really it is true. You never punch down. You never punch down. So it's like this Kelly Dodd who talks about me all the time. She hates me, the voice, blah, 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 blah. She gets so riled up. You're like, why would you ever respond to her? Because that's talking down because our podcasts are way bigger than hers will ever be. And I'm like, you're right. I don't clap back. Like you never clap back. If Andy Cohen makes a comment about me or you, we are clapping back. We will be in a war. If Teresa wants to, right?
Oh, huge.
You
We're like
always
waiting
punch
for the
up. You
day.
always
Yeah.
punch up.
Like,
So
please let
Kelly,
like Candace Owens, let like somebody try to drag us. Like, that would be amazing. Let Andy Cohen do a whole like how awful our podcasts are. That would be like the best.
that would be the best, but we never punch down. So this Kelly gets so worked up about me. I'm not responding to her. Because that's punching down. But Lala Kent has not taken your advice. Lala Kent's way more famous than I'll ever be, and she is not listening to you, Sarah. She is punching down, and she is in a little bit of a feud with this
She is with the Dodd.
crazy Kelly.
She called her actually, Lala called Kelly unhinged on her podcast. And Kelly apparently told her that she looks like Gollum, the character from Lord of the Rings. And she's addressing it. It was back in 2021. The RHOC alum apparently called out Heather McDonald for interviewing Lala, who Kelly thinks is, quote, an idiot. Lala eventually clapped back at some point in their feud. Kelly posted side by side photos of Lala and Gollum, and she asked her fans, does anyone else see the resemblance? Kelly was unhinged and also amazing TV, said Lala on her Give Them Lala podcast recently. She explained that Kelly called her once and told me that I was Gollum. I was like, that's rude, Lala recalled. And then she fucking posted the picture she was referring to next to Gollum. And I was like, oh, I'll give it to you. It's pretty spot on. Anyhow, Lala suggested that she respected how Kelly brought a receipt. She's hella unhinged, but I too enjoyed watching her on RHOC, Lala went on to say. So there you go.
I mean, is it these Vanter kids? They really have time on their hands now that the show has moved on to greener pastures, right? They've all gotten fired except Lisa Vanderpump. I mean, is it a slow day on the Give Them Lala podcast that she has to think about
Yeah.
this unhinged woman? I mean, this is
Right. I know why bringing it up, but she brought it up recently and basically just, I know,
like, are you? There's a lot of content out there, Lala. Like, I
a
mean,
ton.
I love
Um,
you. I mean, you could talk about like, your kids shit their pants. I mean, that's got to be more interesting. I mean, doesn't she have the little one?
she does. She
So
does.
I mean,
Any of that would be more. I mean, yeah, again, I don't even know. Like, I forget Kelly and Rick are even on or where you find them,
hmm
or they
hmm.
just are so, ugh, I don't know.
Listen, it's not going so well for
No,
them.
they're so far beneath you. It's like, I can't.
That's why I don't clap back. That's why Lala, come on, girl, you're better than this. You really are, Lala.
She is.
Uh, she
Uh,
is. She really is. I
I was looking to see if
I love
Kelly and
Lala. Oh,
Rick still
please,
have a
she'll
you
talk.
too.
She'll to this one will. I mean, she'll talk about it. She'll clap at that. I have a bad voice. Dit da da dee da da. Ah, she's crazy. She always says the same things. Speaking of Vander people that are not that doing so well since the show went off the air, Jax and Kristen are doing great. This Tom Sandoval, he has wished the new kids on the Vanda show some good luck, and his advice is just be honest in the moment. I'm like, really, Tom? I mean,
Oh,
like,
the
I don't.
irony.
The irony, but I like the Sandoval, but he's telling him to be honest. I don't know if the people want to hear about that from you, Tom. But what else is going on? I mean, he's a little bit in trouble with the law, with
Yeah, he is
Rachel.
actually. And he and Rachel Leviss are still in that very heated lawsuit.
November, baby.
Yeah, it's coming up, and I gotta say, I'm not sure it's looking great for Sandoval. And by the way, did you realize I knew Rachel Leviss was working with Mark Garagos, but did you also realize that Brian Friedman is on the case? Mark
Mhm,
Garagos and Brian Friedman are besties.
mhm.
I didn't know that until Garagos has launched a podcast with Harvey Levin from TMZ.
Mhm.
So I didn't realize Friedman is on the case in defense of Rachel Leviss. I'm actually like, I think Leviss is going to win. Well, now apparently Sandoval has begged a judge to allow him to avoid consequences for missing an important deadline in his battle with Rachel Leviss, claiming he was busy with the holidays and looking for a new lawyer after parting ways with his old team. He filed a declaration explaining the situation to the LA Superior Court judge presiding over Rachel's invasion of privacy lawsuit against Tom and Ariana Maddox. The former VPR star explained that he'd been represented by his lawyers, yada, yada, yada. He parted ways with them. Anyway, the long and the short is he was supposed to file like a motion or a response. He did not do that. So now he is begging the judge to give him more time, that he has now hired a new lawyer. So remember how we thought Tom Sandoval was going to go after, I mean, he was going to go up against Garagos and Friedman solo. Not true. Apparently, he now has a new attorney. And on December 13th, when he was supposed to file or respond, he says, I was newly representing myself, actively searching for another attorney, and mistakenly believed that I had missed the deadline to respond. I was concerned that this would make it appear as though I was trying to delay things, Tom said. Therefore, I reached out to Rachel's counsel, Mark Garagos, and asked for 30 more days to put together responses. Mr. Garagos did not respond to my email. Tom has now hired a new attorney, Colleen Hardiker, to represent him. In the lawsuit, Rachel claimed Tom secretly recorded explicit FaceTime chats that they had during the affair while he was in a relationship with Ariana. Of course, then they were shared, apparently, allegedly. Very interesting. But this is going to be really, I don't know. This looks like it's still moving forward in a big way.
Well, a couple of things. This is why kids, you don't represent yourself. I mean, Jax famously made that other error where he said whatever, he gave up all rights to Cruz or whatever just happened with the divorce with Brittany. You don't represent yourselves. Even me, even going to law school, if you don't, even a lawyer who is practicing, which is certainly not me, if you're a corporate lawyer, you don't represent yourself in a legal, criminal case. You always need a lawyer. So, yeah, this is the judges. I have to tell you, judges are not usually very sympathetic to miss death. I mean, this is why we have these. You have 30 days to respond here. He didn't respond to discovery within 30 days. And yeah, I don't think that this is Mr. Sandoval's going to get out of anything here. And Ariana's going to court. And I
No, I
did
think
know
Sandoval is
this.
going to have to pay up. Now, did you also recall this part of the story? We cover a lot, so it's always hard to remember what's what. But in the motion, Tom included the list of questions that Rachel wanted him to answer. The majority related to his public claims about her lawyers wanting Tom's help on a lawsuit against NBC. Rachel asked Tom if you contended that you were